Well, welcome to June. Yay! June, we have a new theme for the month, Better Living Now. And I love that. That's really positive, and it's really powerful, and it's really in the present tense, better living now, not when this happens or when that happens, not pushing it off into the future like we tend to do when I retire, when I get the raise, when whatever, I get the different job. It's better living now. We start right here, right now, in this present moment. And today's talk title is Better Be Better, which, honest to God, I write these talk titles 100 years ago. I've got talk titles already written out till October. We have the themes for the end of the year. And I thought it sounded really good when I thought it up. But after a while, having to live it, and then having to read it, and it just looked like, I could just hear somebody scolding me. I don't know if you got that from it or not. I kind of have this feeling like someone, he or her is like wagging a finger at me going, better be better, and I thought, that's not really my intention for that talk title. I was kind of, I don't know, maybe thinking it's better to be better. I think that's really where it came from. It's much better to be better than to be awful. Right? but in retrospect, I assume I could have probably said it a different way. And that's what we do, right? We set these good intentions, and sometimes they don't work out quite that way, We have all of the good intentions in the world, and then, sometimes they unfold the way they unfold, right? What they said about, right, good intentions, that old saying about, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, actually. And that's just the way it works out sometimes. I wonder, because there's a stairway to heaven, but there's a highway to hell. So it's like, is that because more people are headed in that direction? I'm like, it makes me wonder. I don't know. I don't know. But traditional religion had a way of scolding us, didn't it? I mean, it really did. It scolded us like that, guilting us and instilling fear in us to make us behave better. Right? It was always the threat of hell, fire, and damnation. There was sin, there was punishment in hell, and well, at least purgatory. If you're trying, you're just not good enough. I mean, there was all kinds of threats to make us be better. And luckily, we in New Thought will have none of it. We will just have none of it. Ernest Holmes said this, and Can We Talk to God? He said, I do not believe in hell, the devil, or damnation, in any future state of punishment, or in any strange ideas which have been conceived in the minds of morbid people. God does not punish people. There is, however, a law of cause and effect, which governs all and which will automatically punish impartially and impersonally if we conflict with its principle of harmony. So that's what it's about. There is a love that points the way. There is a law that makes the way possible. We are either in alignment with it or we are not in alignment with it. And we know when we are out of harmony, don't we? We absolutely have an internal compass, and we know, we feel when those sorts of things are going on. When we're struggling, when we're trying to push the river, when we're trying to make things happen, we can be sure that we're out of principle somewhere along the way. We need to stop, we need to take a breath, we need to go back to principle, go back to the truth as we know it in that moment, in that situation. And what we know is God is all there is. And we know that God is good, therefore good is all there is. So why am I struggling? Well, I'm struggling because I've forgotten something. I have forgotten something. Now, order is the first law of heaven. And the universe demands harmony and equilibrium. So balance must be maintained. Balance must be maintained. And so we know when we are out of balance, just like we know when we're out of any of the other qualities of God. If we're not in alignment with the qualities, we tend to suffer. We can. Because balance is just another one of those qualities of God. When we are out of alignment with any of the qualities, we live it. We know it, we live it, we feel it, it's uncomfortable. Things just don't go right. It's like trying to, decide to maybe lose a few pounds. We don't even like the lose word, right? Because we don't like to lose. Okay, so it's about shedding a few pounds. I'm going to release a few pounds. I'm going to set my intention to do that, right? And so we decide to go on a live it because we don't like the word diet either because it's got die in it. That's stupid. Okay, so we're gonna release a few pounds into the universe. I think we really release it into the air and then somebody just walks through it and picks it up. I think there's only so much fat in the world. We just keep, trading. Anyway. So we decide to shed a few pounds, we set our intentions, we get really, really clear. We're gonna eat healthful foods, we're gonna exercise more, we're gonna get better sleep, and we're gonna trim our bodies down a little. Doesn't that sound great? It's wonderful. We do it every January 1st. We set those same intentions. And then what happens is we don't change our habits. We don't change our habits. We keep eating the same things, but I'm only gonna get a little piece of it. But we eat the same things that we know we really need to stay away from if we want to fulfill the intention. We say we're going to go to the gym every day after work, yay. And then what happens? You get home, you get tired, you don't feel like changing. It's like, oh no, it's been a long day, I'm too tired. And you don't go to the gym. You are out of alignment. We are out of alignment with our own intentions. We set these intentions, and then we don't follow them. We are out of alignment. We are out of integrity with ourselves. We've made a commitment to ourselves. So God's not punishing me by keeping me fat. I'm out of integrity with my commitment to myself. I'm not doing what I said I would do. And we know when we're out of commitment, when we're out of integrity, because it doesn't feel right. I'm lying to myself. And I'm lying to the one person in the entire world I should be able to trust the most. And so we know when we're out of alignment because it doesn't feel right. It makes us feel bad when we are out of integrity with ourselves. And then what happens? Because we don't feel right, because we're out of integrity, because we're lying to ourselves, we're surrounded by hypocrites, aren't we? Boy, we can just pick them out in a crowd, can't we? I can tell how all these people, I know those people. You know those people? Sure, we become hypercritical of everybody else's behavior around us because we're not doing what we've committed to do. But instead of seeing it for ourselves, we can pick out everybody else who's not doing what they said they were going to do, all those other people that are letting me down. We get caught up in our guilt. And we seek a release from that emotional tension of that guilt by feeling that the need to either we need to be punished or somebody else needs to be punished. So we project that feeling of guilt onto the people around us. Look at those people. Look at those hypocrites not doing what they said they were going to do. They better be better, or they better be punished, or they better be both. Ernest Holmes said this in Ideas of Power. He said, when I lost hell, I lost the greatest asset I had. There was nowhere to send those people who disagreed with me. And this is very bad. He said, I miss it more than I miss any other of my infantile possessions. But I couldn't carry it along with me into adulthood because that place has cooled off long ago. There is no hell. There is no devil. There is no place to send those people, even if I am one of those people. There's just the love and the law. That's all there is. There are just spiritual principles and natural laws and spiritual laws all working together in harmony to maintain order and balance in the universe. And when we are in integrity with ourselves and with what we said we are going to do and who we said we're going to show up as, when we are in alignment with that, we are blessed. We are blissed out. And when we are out of integrity for it, nobody's punishing us but ourselves. Ernest Holmes said, we're not punished for our sins, we're punished by them. And he meant the law of cause and effect. When we are out of integrity with what we said we were going to do or who we said we were going to be or who we said we were here to show up as, when we are out of integrity, we suffer because everything we do has consequences. We love what we do. We're in alignment with what we're doing. We're loving life. There are consequences, right? We just happen to love those consequences. And when we're out of integrity and we're trying to push the river and we're trying to make things happen and stuff's going to hell, there are consequences. We just don't like those consequences. There are consequences to everything. Every action that we take results in a consequence. It makes something occur. Sometimes we do good, we feel good, we get good, we see good all around us. Sometimes it's otherwise. And it's not the devil. We are not being punished by something or some entity. We are reaping what we have sown. The law of cause and effect at work. Ernest Holmes said this in Ideas of Power. He said, "Now I treat hell and the devil very disrespectfully because I haven't the slightest respect for either one of them or for anybody's belief in either one of them. It's all bunk." I love that. It is. It is all bunk. That man spoke the truth. So we just cannot say, "Oh my God, the devil made me do it," and not take responsibility for our own actions and our own choices. We have to be better because we have to be in integrity with ourselves so that we can suffer, so that we can experience the consequences we desire instead of the consequences we don't want. You know, I don't want the threat of hell hanging over my head in order for me to do good works. That's not necessary. We're here to do good works because we're here in physical form. We are representing the divine. We are here as spirits in form to do the good work, to ease suffering, to make the earth a little bit better than when we found it. I don't want the threat of hell to be my motivation. If the only thing keeping me from running amok and stealing and killing and robbing and things is the threat of hell, I may not be a nice person to begin with. You know, it's doing good for good's sake. I'm just saying, you know. Lots and lots of people don't even believe in the divine or God at all, and they do wonderful works. We do good for the sake of doing good, to ease others' suffering, to be a force for good in the world, to transform lives. Whether or not people believe in a spiritual basis, we still can do good whenever we want. You know, we had the memorial candle burning for Maya Angelou this morning. She made her transition last week. So I've been doing a lot of reading about her, and there was a lot of quotes going back and forth on the internet about things that she had said. I mean, she was a wonderful, inspiring woman. But one of the things that she said really resonated with me. It was a quote. She said, "It always amazes me when people come to me and say, 'I'm a Christian.' And I think to myself, 'Already? You already got it? Wow, I'm still working on that.' What I mean is that I try to be kind and respectful and generous and courteous to everyone." And I think that's true. We don't have it yet. We haven't gotten it yet. We are working on it. We are all working. We're all in, you know, it's progress, it's process. We are all on the path together. We are all surely attaining spiritual enlightenment. And I don't think we've gotten there yet. I'm still working on it. And I know I'm walking in the right direction, but I'm still working on it. I wake up each morning and thinking to myself, I am going to be Mother Teresa today. You know, I get up and I am the coffee and I let the dog out and I do the meditation and I do my prayer work and I just love everybody unconditionally, right? I can see everybody. I mean, and you know it, right? You do the same thing. Please tell me you have a prayer process and you have a meditation practice and you do your work in the morning, and I am going to be the Christ consciousness in the world today. And then I hit the freeway. And sometimes it all goes out the window. You know, it just does. I wake up in the morning, I let the dog out, I do my meditation, I set my intentions. I'm going to see God in everyone today. I am seeing God in every person. I desire to see every person as spirit in form. See people as God sees them. Innocent, whole, perfect, complete, outpicturing of divine mind and nothing else. Why? What could possibly go wrong there? So can you stand another tennis story? Saturday morning, my daughter Allie and I go out and we play tennis a lot in the mornings. During the week, there's a little public park up the street, has a little tennis court, an individual one, it's cute, surrounded by basketball courts and skateboard parks and grass and dog training and all that stuff. But during the week, during the morning, it's really quiet and it's idyllic, you know, birds singing, flowers, you know, bees humming, the whole bit. It's wonderful. We decided to go Saturday morning, and that's where the story goes to hell. Saturday morning, everybody else is apparently off also and going to the park. And we got to this beautiful little tennis court that we use every morning, and it was filthy. Whatever happened Friday night, they just left their garbage there. You know, the old Starbucks cups and the gum on the court, and just, it was awful. So it kind of was like, all right, well, I just love these little beings regardless. Oh, well, they didn't pick up their stuff. I'll do it for them. And so we did that. And then we started playing, and about 10 minutes into playing, the little basketball dude who thinks he's a rapper and a gangsta comes along. And he puts his boombox on like, 1,000,000 decibels, and the entire park can hear his rap crap, as I would call it. I mean, I like rap. There's some rap I do like. But this was not with the MFing and all that jazz. Okay, this was that, So I'm thinking, love the little darling. I love him. I see him as God sees him. I really, honest to God, do. And then the car alarms started. The car alarms, for God's sake, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Car alarms. And then there was the guy beeping his horn because he was trying to get someone's attention. Beeping and beeping and beeping and beeping. And then, about 20 minutes after that, the dog people came to do their dog training. And I swear, I don't know why it was, but every single one of them was one of those little miniature dogs that sounds like a squeak toy. That sound. I was like, oh my God. Okay, so at this point, I'm sort of not seeing them as God sees them. It's like, I am not seeing the God in these lousy, loud, obnoxious people. Oh my God. Talk about falling short. Oh my gosh. They say when someone is a really, really good tennis player, they say, wow, he uses his tennis racket as a weapon. He's got a killer forehand. I really wanted to use my tennis racket as a weapon. It's a horrible thing to say. And that only took 2 hours. That only took 2 hours from my prayer time, from my meditation time, from my loving everyone unconditionally, to I'm going to kill these people if I get near them. And I thought, oh, isn't that wonderful? How quickly it can just all go to hell, Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Go back to principle. It's about going back to principle. It's about remembering who we are. Ernest Holmes said the law, with its retributive action, maintains balance, compensation, and equilibrium, which is necessary to the universe. As we sow, we shall no doubt reap. I am sure that full and complete salvation will come alike to all. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness in which we now live, according to our own state of understanding. We need not worry about either reward or punishment, for both are certain. In the long run, all will be saved from themselves through their own discovery of the divine nature. And this is the only salvation necessary and the only one that could really be. It is when we remember who we are. When we remember who we are, we better be better. We better be better. It's the best way to be. We are spirit informed. We are representing the divine. And how well do we do that? I am here as a representative of spirit. You are here as a representative of spirit. We are here temporarily in physical form as humans. So it is up to us to reach higher, to the best behavior, so that we can properly represent the divine, properly represent who it is that we are. This is from a column by Marilyn Gordon. She said, if we want to rewire our brains, and we know we can, we all saw What the Bleep, right? We want to rewire those neural pathways. There are ways that we can do it to create new behaviors. And one is to set powerful intentions. Set powerful intentions. Be really clear and really positive, and set the powerful intentions for yourself. You know that joke about how many religious scientists does it take to change a light bulb? None. The bulb has to want to change. Set powerful intentions. 2, really understand what old behavior is doing for you and to you. Really understand what your old pattern behaviors are doing for you and doing to you. Because chances are there's a payoff somewhere in those old behaviors. That's why you're not changing them. And whatever that payoff is, you need to look at that. Number 3, shift the focus. Stop looking at what you don't want. Like, those pounds I have to lose. Stop looking at what you don't want and start focusing on what your desires are. Think only in the direction you are headed. Number 4, use the imagination to feel your new intention. Get those juices flowing around those new behaviors. Whatever those things are, know them, feel what that feels like to be in that body, or to be in that new car, or to be in that new job. Own it. Really own it and own the feeling. Number 5, interrupt the old thought patterns with a sound no when they start coming up. With a sound no, just like you would stop a child who was running into the street. No! When you start thinking those old tape thoughts, just interrupt them. Get conscious. Number 6, use aversion techniques. I do not recommend this for everyone unless you have a strong stomach. You know what I'm talking about here. Use aversion techniques, like when you're thinking about that sweet or that thing that you really don't want to eat. The aversion technique is called the maggots in the chocolate cake, okay? Now you get it, yeah, okay. Like I said, it's not for everybody. But if it keeps you from doing something you really don't want to be doing, think in terms of aversion. Number 7, make it specific. Don't overreach. I'm going to commit to lose a pound a week. I'm going to commit to lose 1.5 pounds a week. I am not going to commit to losing 20 pounds by the end of the month, because I know it's not going to happen. So don't overreach. Keep it real. Keep those little penguin steps. Keep walking in that direction. And number 8, let Spirit support us. Let Spirit support us. Meditation and prayer are tools for us to use. They are powerful tools. This is not some idle, what is it Gandhi said? It's not like the idle ramblings of an old woman. Prayer is a powerful tool. It changes things. Use it. And number 9, know that transformation is not only possible, it is inevitable. It is inevitable. Change happens. Nothing stays stagnant in the physical world. Everything changes. So what you're doing is you're powerfully changing in the direction in which you want to go. That's what setting those intentions are about. Change happens. And directed change happens when we passionately and purposefully and boldly walk in the direction that we are headed, the direction of our desires. Want to be better? Be better. Be better now. Be better now. This is the way to do it. We are representatives of God. Act like it. We are representing the divine. What would the divine do? I was thinking things at that tennis court that I would never say out loud, but it goes one step past that too. It's not only what would God do or what would Jesus do, it's like what would Jesus think? Were the thoughts running around my head, the thoughts that Jesus would be thinking? I really honestly don't know. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, Jesus got a little, righteous indignation or something, but like, transform those thoughts. What is the higher thought in that moment? We are representing Spirit. We are representing Spirit. What is the best and highest thought you can have? Ernest Holmes said this. He said, the kingdom of heaven is a thing to be devoutly experienced. It is the pearl of great price for which a man will sell all he has in order that he may possess it. And yet it is the only thing he has had before he even asked for it. It is the only thing he actually possesses that he cannot lose. It is the only thing that is eternal, for it is God incarnated in every living being. It is not outward pomp or external proclamation, but it is a state of internal awareness, coming softly and gently to the soul that recognizes its presence. Our evolution consists in awakening to that which was and is and ever shall be. That's our job. That's why we're here, to be better, to evolve, to awaken, to understand our power, our love, our wisdom, to know that we are spirit and form right here and right now. Thank you so much.